Welcome back to Investing with Confidence. As always, I am your host, Joshua David, and I have a great time talking about the stock market with you. We have fun. It's a subject that most people have no clue about, and we can kind of give some new techniques, some new ideas for average investors right here in Bloomington, right here in Minneapolis area. If you happen to miss tickets for that investing class that we do right here in Bloomington, they're free. They're only 2 hours. We have these on the weekends. Also during the weekday, call 952-814-4410, or you can just text, nice and easy, text the word invest to the number 484848. You'll get a text right back. Make sure you keep your phone by you because we'll have one of our team members give you a call. Make sure you get the date that makes sense for you on your schedule for this free investing class right here in Bloomington. So, Al, as we talked in that last segment, we were kind of going over those income-style strategies that the smart money is using,
right?
Which the great thing that we know, these strategies are available to us as well. So, I think you kicked that segment off talking about you trade your income accounts and retirement accounts. You kind of treat them a little bit differently,
right,
based on time frames that you're going to use, your goals, your objectives. And by the way, you kicked this first segment off. You have to have a plan, especially in your retirement accounts, your 401ks, IRAs. I was actually having a conversation with a good friend, and they were a little upset, not at me. But we were talking about, the markets, what's going on, the crazy volatility.
Right.
And most people think we're going to have a market crash. It's going to happen. It's just a matter of when.
Sure.
So he was like, I want to be able to prepare for this. And so he was talking with his advisor. And he's like, if this starts to happen, I'm getting close to retirement age. What is my exit strategy? And they said, oh, we don't have one. We're in it for the long haul.
Mm-hmm.
And think about that for a second. If you have your hard-earned money in the market and you have somebody managing that for you, basically dictating what happens to your future, how much money you're going to have, what type of lifestyle you're going to have in retirement, and they say, we have no strategy for taking any profits. Hopefully everybody is the most wealthy they've ever been right now. Now think about that for a second. Does that make any sense to you? I don't think so. Why is it so important to, I guess, obviously you want to be the best steward of your money, but why is it so important to really manage these accounts yourself?
Well, first of all, when you go into retirement, you mentioned a plan. First of all, anytime you start investing, no matter how old you are, you need to have a plan. You need to have a plan that identifies your goals and the best way to achieve those goals. When you go into retirement, things change a bit. Before retirement, maybe your primary goal is to accumulate assets, to build up the assets that you have. In retirement, you really need to concentrate, number one, on protecting what you have, because you've worked 30 to 40 years to put together whatever your retirement account shows that you have. How would you feel if the year that you retired or a couple of years after you retired, 50% or 60% of it was gone? Would that impact the way you could live the rest of your retirement years? Because you don't get a do-over. When you're 70 years old, there are not a lot of career opportunities available for you. So protection of what you have becomes paramount. And how are you being protected? What's your advisor doing? Josh, you mentioned the fact that they really don't have an exit plan as far as when to take profits, and that's part of the buy and hold strategy. But what are they doing to protect your assets? I can tell you what they will say. They'll say, well, you're well diversified. We have you in some financial stocks, some health care, some consumer staples, some consumer discretionary, some technology.
Wait a second. That doesn't sound like diversified to me.
Really? Is it because
like
they're all in the same asset class?
It sounds like it's all stocks.
They're all stocks. And what happens?
Think about that.
Yeah, what happens when we go through a bear market or a correction? The correlation between stocks becomes very huge. So all the good companies get taken down the drain with the bad companies. There are some companies that probably shouldn't be around that get sucked down, but they bring the big good companies with them. So protecting what you have isn't going to be Wall Street's version of diversification. Diversification is important, but it's having diversified assets, things that are not correlated to each other. But it's also having a protective, basically the same thing as an insurance policy on your portfolio. You can do that. You can use options as a protective vehicle, which is really what they were initially intended for. So you should never have a big loss. Small losses, yeah, those are going to come. You'll never be right 100% of the time. Not possible. But if you're wrong, you want to make sure that it's the minimum amount that you can lose. Never let a small loss become a big loss. So that's number one. Number two, generate income off of whatever you have in retirement. The buy and hold strategy has you just putting a portfolio together, and then to get access money to live on, you have to have a distribution plan. So you're taking money out of that portfolio, dwindling it down. Why not learn how to use the income strategies that we teach you initially with your portfolio, your retirement portfolio, to generate income? So you actually are growing that account. You grow it while you generate income from it, while you protect it. Those are the three keys when you're in retirement.
Yeah, protect. If you don't keep what you have, you can't continue to earn. And just kind of, a lot of our listeners, and I was teaching a class, I believe it was a week and a half ago, and we were talking about what happens in down markets. People that are listening right now, if they experienced 2000 and 2008, they know what it's like. But most investors, and I would guess a lot of our investors or listeners right now haven't experienced that down market. So when they hear us talking about it, they're kind of like, hey, well, why would I worry about that? Think about this. If you had all of your money sitting in your car in a parking lot and you didn't lock your doors or didn't hide it or something, that's what you're doing right now with your capital. Hopefully you have the biggest pile right now in that car, but if you keep that door open, you don't hide it, that's probably going to disappear, especially if you're in some areas, right? So
these days, yeah, absolutely.
So that's why it's so important to protect what you have in your accounts, but not just be in a buy and hope strategy where you hope it continues to go up. It doesn't matter if it goes up, if it goes down. There's opportunities in both ways.
Yeah.
And let's talk about that coming up in here in a second.
Sure.
But I have investing classes I want to give away some tickets to here in Bloomington to introduce you to these concepts, to learn how to protect your life savings, protect what you have, protect your 401ks, your IRAs, 403bs, whatever retirement account that you have. Learn the skills and techniques to protect them. We cover that in these free investing classes right here in Bloomington. Call 952-814-4410 or just text the word invest to the number 484848. That'll be if you call for callers or texters 1 through 10. When you do that, you're going to receive a financial quick start kit, and that'll help you get started right away. So let's talk about those opportunities in down markets. The concept is called shorting. I know we're getting close to the end of this segment, but explain why it's so important and what you're missing out on when you have a one-directional strategy.
Well, and that's what most people have, that buy and hold strategy. Check out what you have in your retirement accounts or in your investment portfolio. What will happen to them if the market goes down? For most of you, you're going to have to say, well, I'll lose money. That's not what the pros do. The pros make money when the market goes up. The pros make money when the market goes down. So if you are not at least exposed to some of the strategies that will benefit or potentially can benefit you in a down market, you're at a big disadvantage there. You're only participating in one out of three directions the market can go. And that's what our students want to make sure that they don't have happen. That's why they want to learn about the different assets that are available, the different strategies to use in a down market. Josh mentioned shorting. That's one. That's basically where you're selling at a high price and buying back to cover it at a lower price. We cover that in these free classes. You'll be amazed at that concept and of what the benefits can be there. But there are other ways. You can use options in a down market. You can use exchange-traded funds that go the opposite direction of the underlying. It's called an inverse ETF. You can do that. You can sell futures contracts. You can sell Forex. There are a number of ways you can participate in a down market. And your mindset should be such that you don't care which direction the market goes because you know the strategies to benefit in all three directions, while also, and this is most important, while also managing the risk, making sure that you never have a big loss.
Just to give you an example of this, I was just doing a chart here, and for our YouTube viewers, just kind of illustrating what's happening there. So in 2021, there's roughly about a 22% rate of return. Not very much. In the past, since October, there's been an opportunity of about 20% up and down. Think about that for a second.
Each way, yeah.
That is what people are missing out on is that opportunity. Are you going to get everything? Probably not. But why just be in a one-way strategy that hopefully it just goes up when you have opportunities in up markets, great opportunities in down markets? We've seen the last 2 weeks some great, phenomenal moves on the way down. hey, you're missing out on these great opportunities. Learn those techniques and skills. We introduce you to those techniques and concepts right here in Bloomington in these investing classes. Our sponsor actually on their 25th year teaching people skills and techniques for up markets, skills and techniques for down markets. There's another direction. It's actually sideways.
Right.
So techniques and strategies for all three market conditions. If you want to learn more, call 952-814-4410. And this is for callers 1 through 10 when you call in right now for 2 tickets for this investing class, one for you and a friend. 952-814-4410. You can also text the word invest to the number 484848. You get a text back. We'll also give you a call to make sure you get the right date. There's a little video of a preview of what to expect in this investing class. Al, coming up next, we got a lot more to cover. Let's talk more about stock market update, what's really happening in these markets, some different opportunities that you've seen, but also let's inspire people to get started if they're brand new.
Sure.
We'll be right back.